once made are forgotten. Old patterns soon take over. Nehemiah had come to Jerusalem on a temporary assignment from the Persian king. He took upon himself the rebuilding and resettling of Jerusalem. Perhaps his greatest accomplishments were several key reforms he instituted that addressed the issues of why God had allowed the destruction of Jerusalem and the deportation of its entire population. So what had happened before we got to this lesson was Jerusalem, God's chosen people decided not to adhere to the fourth commandment, which was remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. He says 7 days. I mean, it's 6 days that he created everything, and then on the seventh day he rested. And that's what he wanted his people to do. If you meet some people that never take a day off, you know how grumpy and it ain't good. God made us so that we need rest. You got something you want to say there?
No, I'm not good on the seventh day.
Oh, okay. So on the seventh day, he needs you to get rest. And he wants you to get rest so that you can worship him. He wants you to spend that time with him. So the Jews had got carted off into Babylonian captivity, and they had been there 70 years. So now, after the 70 years, God allowed Nehemiah, the cupbearer to the king in Babylon, to come back. God gave him favor with the king so that he could come back. So he had been here earlier and had helped to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem and get everything back in order, had the priests come back into the temple and had them begin to do the priestly duties and the sacrifices and the worship, the style of worship that God had showed them. So now Nehemiah had to go back to his job, which was with the Persian king, because he only gave him like 12 years. He was the governor of Jerusalem while he was there. But his time was up, he had to go back. So the king literally granted him time to go back and check things out. And this is what he found. On the Sabbath, those first couple of scriptures, he found people bringing in asses laden with goods and stuff. These were the people in the area was coming in on the Sabbath with all their goods and stuff, selling to people and everything they weren't supposed to have been doing. Okay? So now, where was I?